and I decided to make my way up to the spare dormitory that my father-in-law built for all the grandkids and us family to be able to come, and it's a really big room, and it's a wonderful place. Um, we are here today, then leaving in the morning to head to Wisconsin for a revival meeting leading up to Easter, and then up to Camp Chautauqua for a pastor's conference called the Pastor's Toolbox. So we appreciate your prayers, and then we'll be making our way back here for a couple of days and then over to the Baptist World Spring Board meeting. Well, we're in John chapter 6, and I've entitled this one in light of what Jesus reminds the people, and that is that we must work by faith. Sometimes people battle between works and faith, and James says, you're saved by faith, not by works, but the faith that saves works. And it's because we believe God. We do what we do because we believe God. We do what we do because God has a special design that he has designed in everything that he created. The earth and how it functions has a design. Marriage and how God designed it has a design to be followed. A life as it is to be lived has a design in which is to be followed. The way that our bodies function is designed, and there is a healthy way to deal with our body and to keep ourselves healthy and steward that which we have been given. We know because of sin, the world is waxing worse and worse, that the world will pass away. We know that our bodies will get worse and worse and pass away given enough time. We know that the effects of sin, but it doesn't change the fact that God has designed things to function a certain way. God designed the local church to function a certain way. He designed government to function a certain way. And so living by faith isn't just sitting back and letting God do everything. Living by faith is believing what God has said. And so, the people see that there's one boat and that Jesus didn't leave with the disciples, and yet he's with his disciples, and they're trying to figure out what happened and how is this all be. And so they find their way to Jesus, and they come to him, and they're asking him for more, and asking him, how did you get here? And Jesus answers in verse 26, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, you seek me not because you saw the miracles, but because you did eat of the loaves and were filled." In other words, you're not seeking after me because of who I am. You're not even seeking after me because of what I've said. You are seeking after me because you got to be filled with loaves that you didn't have to do anything for. And I fear that a lot of Christians who claim to live by faith are just shirking the responsibilities that God has given to us within the designs to believe what God has said and to do what he requires. We're not working our way to heaven. We couldn't do it. We're not even working ourselves into a way that God will love us. He loves us anyway. We're not working for anything that specifically is self-generated, or at least we shouldn't be. We should be working because we believe what God designed has a purpose, and that ultimate purpose glorifies his brilliance, and it glorifies the designer and all of his wisdom, and it sets God apart from everything. And we believe that God is right. We believe that God is truth. We believe that God has a reason for everything he's designed, and therefore we do it that way. Can I just remind all of us that if we're not really sold on what God has said, if we're really not living by faith, then we tend to defer to what we want. We defer to what we think, and we become practicing secular humanists while claiming to be followers of Christ. Can I just encourage each of us to do a little inventory and say, am I living by faith? What I'm doing for God, am I doing it because I believe God, or am I doing it because it works out better for me? Am I doing what I do because I believe what God has said and what God has designed, or because it impresses people, or I'm more concerned about what people will think? You see, I have to be able to answer the tough questions because we know all the right answers. And we have to ask the question, do I really believe God? And am I doing what I do for God because I believe Him, because I'm living by faith? And so the work of faith is simply doing what I do because I believe what God has said, and I believe what He designed has a specific design in order to be followed to fulfill the purposes that He had when He designed it, and that will ultimately bring glory to Him. And so my motivation for doing what I do is because I love Him, because I believe Him, and because I desire to bring glory to His name. And God says, if I work in that mindset, and that's true of my heart's desire, there will be reward in heaven for everything that I have done in faith, out of love for God, for the glory of God. There will be reward one day that I can give back to Him and say thank you for eternal life. God bless you. I hope you have a great day. And Jesus reminds the people here, He reminds us, that's labor in light of eternity, not in what it just does for us today. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless.